Hello everyone, I'm Wang Huanhuan. Today I'm going to present what makes a good teacher, the perceptions of postgraduate TESOL students. First, let's look at problem statement. Many academies have used the concept of expert teachers while examining some of these categories. These teachers are frequently recognized through reputation or by their pupils' exceptional success on standard examinations, but perspectives of the traits that students think define a skilled TESOL teacher are underrepresented in studies. The second one is although the qualities of a successful teacher are frequently discussed, in the field of TESOL, there aren't many data-driven research on the topic. The current study attempts to address this gap. This study written by Barbara Mallock. Next, let's look at the research objectives. The purpose of this paper is to investigate if postgraduate TESOL students' judgments of what makes a successful TESOL instructor align with the quality in teachers' knowledge categories. The second one is to determine which categories are seen as the most significant. The following part is about the series. Schurman, who defines teachers' knowledge as content knowledge, such as the ability to situate the content for the learners. The second one is pedagogic content knowledge. The third one is general pedagogic knowledge, such as the strategies of classroom management and organization, regardless of content matter. Next one is curriculum knowledge. It's like materials that are tools of trade for teachers. This is from Schurman's definition of teacher's knowledge. And the second series is from Ethel and McManima, the features of an expert teacher in general education. An expert teacher has large, highly organized knowledge bases with complex interconnected schemes which are easily assessed. The second one is a set of basic automated skills or routines which are executed smoothly and apparently effortlessly. The third one is well developed but flexible and adaptive set of strategic knowledge which are used for planning. And the next part is from Brown and Benton, their study about investigate the teacher's will of and the student's will about a good teacher. And for teacher's will, teacher's belief helps focus on the individual students and develops a positive teacher-student relationship and maintains student interest, enjoyment, and keenness, but also discipline and order. This is what teachers think is important. And next is about students' will. We can say students hope teachers can explain clearly so that they can understand and help us with our work. Carry relates to students, and the work is interesting and enjoyable, but also controls the class well. And next is from Cortese and Jin, who investigated the Chinese students' expectations of a good teacher. First one is knowledge of subject matter, and the second one is patient, humorous, and a good moral example, and shows friendliness, which is characteristics of a good teacher for Chinese students. Next, let's look at the Hammer argues that a good teacher who investigates the English language learners studying in Britain. The first one is make lessons interesting and loves their jobs. shows their personality and has lots of knowledge and is an entertainer, which means to have a good relationship between students and the teachers. Next is the method of this study. The similar question formats were used in the interviews and the questionnaires. And during the interviews, individuals were asked to think of a great language teacher they had, as well as what made this teacher so great. They were then tasked with making generalization regarding the traits of effective English language instructors. And about the findings, this chart is about most frequently mentioned characteristics of a good TESOL teacher. The first one we can say knows and understands students' needs and strengths and weakness. The second one is knows the subject matter. The third one is skilled in teaching techniques and methods. The first one is treats students with respect and shows empathy towards the students. The last one is keeps up to date in knowledge and skills. This is the findings of this study, and then they also compare his study and with Courtesy and Jean from the different response. We can see for the Jean's studies, there are many respondents about knows subject matter. So for this is the difference between these two studies. And the next is the ranking of frequency of response according to category. And the different category, and they also try to find the frequency of what students think different category is important. And the first one is pedagogical content knowledge and skills. It is the first one, and the second one is attitudes and behaviors towards students. The third one is teachers' personal characteristics and attitudes. The fourth one is content knowledge. The last one is broader educational goals and skills. Okay, the following part is the conclusion. The first one is good TESOL teachers, according to study participants, are familiar with the language and its mechanics. The second one is they are skilled at both what to teach and how to keep pupils interested in what they are learning. The third one is although they are approachable, simple to get along with, understand their students, are interested in them, and want to help them with their learning challenges. They also teach pupils about the topics that go beyond linguistics. The final one is effective educators maintain their knowledge and abilities, and they exhibit the character traits of humor, patience, and enthusiasm for their work. Next is my reflections of this study. First one is subject knowledge. We can see many respondents or response think this subject knowledge matter. It is the basic requirements for a teacher. A well-informed teacher can provide accurate and timely guidance, helping students to overcome obstacles in their learning process. The second one is communication abilities. Effective communication can bridge gaps in understanding and foster a positive learning environment, because TESOL teachers that bridge between the communication between the teachers and the students. Maybe is a different communication, different culture background, and these barriers need to overcome. And the third one is empathy. Empathy enables teachers to be more supportive, patient, and approachable, fostering a nurturing environment where students feel comfortable to ask questions, seek help, and express themselves. For me, I think it is important because sometimes if you're always serious and students will be afraid and they do not want to express themselves because they are afraid to make mistakes. And the last one is adaptability. This adaptability ensures that students, teachers can respond effectively to shifting environment and continue to provide quality education. Suggestion for future research. The first one is the future research of what qualities make a good teacher should take different cultures into consideration and correlate perceptions about good teachers with teacher behaviors in the classroom context and with larger numbers of subjects of different language and educational backgrounds. Next is the question and ask part. The first question is, what characteristics do you think a good TESOL teacher should have? Because we are TESOL students, so I wanted to discuss with you this question. And the second question is, are the characteristics of a good teachers changing in the past and present in China? This is the question and ask part. Okay, this is the end of my presentation, and I hope we can have some discussion about this essay and about these questions. Thank you.